But basically 5.5 million Australians choose to drive to and from work, and that's of course compared to about 300,000 who use the train, 250,000 are on the bus, 90,000 cycle to work. Now the average Australian spends more than 5 hours a week commuting to and from work. It's a pretty fair chunk, isn't it? So let's see how they're all going. Our traffic reporter Dwayne Strauss is in the Woolworths Skytracker 7 chopper. And here in the studio we've got urban planner Professor Ed Blakely from the University of Sydney. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
Now Dwayne, if I can check in with you, I just gave a quick update. It seems that Matt driving is leading. Who can you see? How far ahead is he?
Well, we've actually just lost them. We think they're on the Gore Hill Freeway. Now, we believe that it's going to take some time to navigate through the Sydney Harbour Bridge. We'll go to a picture and I'll show you the map. Now, basically, they left it stuck around the M2 and the approaches to the Sydney Harbour Bridge and tunnel. It's definitely going to take some time. Now, we caught up with them a short time ago and we'll have a look at some pictures. Now, we can see that they're all setting up and they're just about to jet off there. We've got the car and the bike going great guns. But I think it's going to be around the Sydney Harbour Bridge and the tunnel. They're going to get slowed up. Now, I think the bike is going to win on this one, Mel.
Okay, the bike, because we weren't sure where the bike was. Obviously, we couldn't check in with Richard, but it certainly seems driving is way ahead at this point. All right, Dwayne, thank you. Keep us up to date. We'll check in with you in just a tick. Ed, if I can talk to you, traffic congestion is a major issue, isn't it? Right across the country for every single city. Now, you've got 5 musts to help ease traffic congestion. We might run through those. We'll bring them up here on the screen. And first up is linking transport systems to roads. So just explain that for me.
Well, our road systems are the things that can be expanded. And in many cities around the world, you've seen a rail line or something like this going down the same corridor as the road. That's the best place, or above the road. If you've been overseas, you've seen them in places like Singapore, above the road. Melbourne's trams through the city. So linking them to the roads. The roads actually are the best way to move things. So when you move away from the road, you're making people walk great distance or something like this. The roads also provide opportunities for you to park near the road and then go to a stop. That's what Los Angeles is doing right now. All
right. You've also got on there a congestion tax for passengers in the early morning. Has that worked?
Well, it's worked in London. There's a lot of controversy about that. A congestion tax only works if you have really good transport. So London took the bold move of improving their transport system, their surface transport system, their underground transport system, and then they imposed the tax. But if you don't do the former, it's hard to do the latter.
All right, and the other ones you had were free public transport within the CBD. I know some cities do that. Good quality housing and businesses around it, and discounts to workers who use the rail system. Is there a city in Australia that gets it right?
There's cities who are working on it. I think Brisbane's working on it very hard. Adelaide's done a very good job. They're smaller. They've done a very good job. But Perth has done the best job of all. So we have
and why does it work so well?
Well, Perth has done all the things we mentioned. They have good, what we call TOD, that's transit-oriented development around Subiaco and places like this. Their rail system runs right down the freeway so people can get to it easily. They provide parking so you don't have to take your car all the way into the city. We're not against cars, it's how far you have to take the car to get to what you want to do. So if you can take it to a transport system, be it a bus or whatever, and then get into the city, then it makes a lot of sense. And that's what Brisbane is going to be doing, using the bus primarily.
Parking is such a thing. I live near a train station and people park blocks and blocks and blocks away to the train and have to walk. It's such a huge distance. I can see why they see it as a hassle.
It is a real big hassle, but I just came back from Japan and they do the smart thing. When they provide parking, it's in a shopping center. So they make a lot of money on the parking and they get the people shopping there and they have the transportation costs low because they're not after the transportation, they're after the person who's in the conveyance.
Great idea. Well, we've got to do something. We've got to think about it. It's driving everybody crazy. It's costing businesses a fortune. Ed, thank you very much for your time.
And we can't be a great global city unless we have a great transportation system.
Good point. All right. We'll check in with all our commuters shortly.